Hi, I'm Rachel from RK Ribbon Designs, and I'm here with another fun pick for your Halloween designs. This time we're going to be using Scrubby yarn. I found this a couple years ago at Hobby Lobby, and I was obsessed with it. So this lime green is not available at Hobby Lobby. They're limited to their colors, although they have a good amount of colors. They have like orange, yellow, the purple, black, red, green, blue, like a light blue, white. So there's a lot of colors, but then they didn't have, you know, like the neon green that I like. They didn't have like a lighter pink. So I was on the hunt for it. So I found a place, a site or a shop on Amazon that sells, it's called Jubilee Yarn, Jubilee, and they have a lot of colors. Now the size is a lot smaller. They are a little more money than the Hobby Lobby. Remember, the Hobby Lobby ones go on sale every other week. So they're usually, I think, $4.99, but when they're on sale, they're like $3.49, I believe. So I always try to get them whenever they're on sale. And these ones came in like a pack. I got like a big variety pack where I wasn't sure what I was going to get in it. It just came up with a bunch of random colors, and this was in it. So I'm not sure if they just sell it by itself or not, but it's worth checking it out. So it's called Jubilee Yarn, and it's called dish yarn. This one is, I call it Scrubby yarn, but this one is Scrubology, Scrub it. It's just they're yarn, but they're made for dishcloths, like for people who crochet the dishcloths, the little dish like things to get off your pans and stuff. That's what these are actually for, but we're not going to use it for that. All right, so we're going to use these three colors because I like these three colors for Halloween. I'm going to do one of my trees in these colors. I typically do it most years. So we're going to put these three together, and then I'm going to use just a 2-inch styrofoam ball. Now the thing is, because these are really, really skinny, you don't really want like a larger ball because it's going to take you forever to cover it. So this project really is good for, like, you know, smaller amount of space that you're going to be using. If you wanted to do a 3-inch ball, have at it, but you have to have a lot of patience with it, okay? So I just like to stick with the 2-inch ball. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your glue, and always use a low temp whenever you're doing styrofoam, because if you use high temp, it's going to deform your styrofoam and it's going to leave your whole design at the end looking all wonky. Okay, so we're just going to put a little ball, a little circle of hot glue there, and then whatever one is on the bottom, I'm going to start that first, and I'm going to put that color there. So that's the black. Then I'm going to go, and I'm going to go just a little around, just make a little hook around the black with my green. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just around the outside there. Then I'm going to take my purple, and I'm going to hook it around both of those. And be careful, you're gonna get glue all over your fingers, so you might want to use those little glue protectors. Dollar Tree has them. And then you're going to do all three. So it's going to look like that. So that's going to start our swirl. So when we go around, then the black's going to start right on top of the purple, so it'll continue the pattern there. So then what I do is I'm going to just kind of move these three out of the way, and then I zigzag just a small amount that's going to be thick enough to cover all three of those pieces of yarn. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm going to put it right on the top, and then I'm going to take these three, and I'm just going to wrap it around, use my thumb to push it down as I go. And it's very tedious when you get it kind of started. Once you've been doing it a while, it'll get a lot easier. And then I'm going to just push it all down to make sure all of it got on some glue so that it's stuck on there. So that's how we're going to start it. And then we're just going to continue that all the way around. So we're just, again, I'm zigzagging, because if you just do a straight line of glue, only like a piece of your yarn is going to get glue on it, and it's going to be a mess when you're done, because you're going to want it to all make sure that it's stuck onto your ball. So again, I'm just coming around, and I'm actually pulling this yarn here pretty tight, not super tight, but I'm giving it enough pull that it'll just kind of lay flat. So when you try to do this with like a regular yarn, it doesn't cooperate as well. That's why I like these, because it's kind of like a tube. So when you go around it, when you pull it, it'll stay in its same kind of shape and everything. Where the regular yarn, it's a little tricky. It wants to kind of move around. It doesn't, you know, want to stay put in a nice like pattern. I don't know. It's just a little different. So I prefer the Scrubby yarn. All right, so we're just going to continue, and I'm just pushing with my thumb down onto the glue until I run out of glue. And then I always go back around and just make sure everything's pushed down. And then I go again. Now I saw these balls like at Halloween time that were like candy corn kind of colors, and they look like they were, you know, like this, had like tubing around it. And I was always like, oh my gosh, I love those. So, but what is it that they use? And I could not figure it out. And I still don't know what it is they use. It's not Scrubby yarn. But when I saw the yarn, I was like, oh, it looks like it. So that way we can make our own colors. Like the orange and the black and white, you know, I always tell people I would probably just buy those if you need a lot of them, because the time that it takes to make these, it might not be worth it for you. But if it's something that you, like a color combo, like this color combo, I haven't seen it. So that way you'll be able to have your own with those colors that you want. Or you can come to my shop and buy them, because I do sell these things after I'm done making them. Now they are going to be a little more because I am hand making all of the things, but they will be definitely different, because I'll be able to customize colors. All right, so again, we're going to continue on. And now that we're more on this side, I'm going to flip the ball. So all of this is on the bottom, and then I'm going to take this part, like this thumb now, I'm going to use this hand, and now I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to push it down with my other thumb. So we're just kind of changing hands here. And you are going to want to kind of pull down with your thumb, because of the way that the ball is shaped. The yarn's going to want to keep trying to ride up and like gather at the top, and you don't want it to do that. So you want to keep pulling it down just like that. And also you could do this with just two colors. It's actually easier with two colors, believe it or not. So especially if you're using white, like black and white are the easiest, because you don't have to be so strict about your lines, because you have the white in there. So if you see the white ball underneath, you don't notice it as much because you're using the white yarn. Where something like this, when you have like all the colors, you'll see the white ball in between. So I'm really trying to make sure that I don't have any gaps in between any of my pieces. So that's what kind of takes longer. All right, so we got to the top. I'm going to cut the purple one short because we don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to cut the green one just a little longer, like that. And then the black one will turn it right into the middle there. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue in there just to finish it off. And then I'm going to cut the black here, and then I'm going to just push it down. And then I'm going to use my thumb and make sure I push all of it down to make sure that they all got on the glue there. And then this is your ball. This is this end and then that end. All right, so I already have 3 other ones I already have put together. So we're gonna put it together to make it a pick. Now you could just do 1, you could do 2, you could do 3, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to do, I typically sell them with just 3 or 2 on each one. So I think I'm gonna do that because the more that I put on there, the more it's going to cost. Because these do take a while to make. They're kind of, they just take a little bit longer. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to use an 18 gauge wire here. And this is from Amazon. This is a black one. So if you're using like the whole color, like a color one, like black, they only usually come in a pack of 50, so they cost a little bit more. If you get the green ones, you can get like a pack of 300 for I think like $15.99, where a pack of 50 of the black is going to be like $6.99. So it's a better deal. But I want to use black because we're already using the because it's going with like a Halloween theme. So we're going to use that, and then oh, here it is. And then black floral tape. So I'm going to use one that's a full length. So this is an 18 gauge wire, full length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue here at the end. Then I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to see which side do I like better. So I think I like this side better, so I'm going to put the wire on this side. So I'm just going to try to kind of find a little gap in between my pieces of yarn there, and I'm just going to put it on to the wire just like that. Super easy. And then this one is just a piece that's I cut in half of the wire. So we're just going to use that, and we'll do the same thing. Which one do I like better? So I like this end better. So we're just going to put some glue here. Like that. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to put your wire next to your other wire, just down just a little bit. You're going to take your floral wire here, pull a piece, and then I'm going to come down. I want to come down about 4 inches from the top of the ball there, or the bottom, and then I'm just going to wrap it, because you're going to want to still be able to move this out if you want to. So you don't want to restrict it with your floral tape. So I'm going to just start wrapping it, and with floral tape you're going to have to give it a little bit of a pull, and that's what's going to make it sticky. So if you just try to wrap it like this, it's not going to stick because you haven't activated it. So in order to activate the stickiness, you have to pull it. Now if you pull it too much and you're like, oh my gosh, I just tore it, all you do is just go right back on top, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it around itself first. So I'm going to fold it over, wrap it, and then I'm going to pinch it, and then I'm going to continue to keep on wrapping it down. And I didn't even need all that much because the wire's already black. Now if you did use a green one, you would just continue down with your black floral tape so that it would cover all of your green. You don't have to use a black one, but for this part it's going to be more beneficial. So this is your pick here. Now if you wanted to do a third one here, I would cut another one in half, you know, and I would just do the same thing. So again, which side do I like better? Other side. I'm going to poke that in. Let's see. I'll just go ahead and do it. So you're just going to cut this one in half here. And then I would just come on this other side here. And then I would just take my floral tape, same thing, and just wrap this one. And then you have 3. So it just depends on what you want, but it's pretty simple. And once you get the hang of it, like I said, it becomes a little easier. The black and white ones are definitely easier, or if you're going to use, you know, white in them, like red and white for Christmas time, it's a little easier because you don't have to be as, you know, worried about showing the white inside. All right, anyways, I hope you like this, and if you continue to like what I show you, I hope you subscribe to my channel. Now that we're getting closer into Halloween, I'm going to have a lot more Halloween stuff starting to pop up, and then we'll start having some Christmas stuff. So make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. All right, bye.